Let me ask you briefly about
Yes,
Level. Level, for those of people who don't know, in my opinion, is one of the original out of the street MMA fighters, and this guy actually, in my opinion, made it at a higher level than Kimbo did. Recently, they've came out and said, and that you had backed out of these fights due to injuries. What is the
that's that.
actual story to that? Is that true? Were you supposed to fight
That's
him
a
and you had
hundred
an injury?
percent. No, that's 100% false. I got Level on speed now. Level is my little homie. Level will tell you. Level is a street dude, that was running with the Latin syndicates. Matter of fact, he led that notorious gang and still do to this day by some instance. So it's like Level was doing certain things that I told Level, I said, Level, you out here, I can make you into a star. It's when I got up with Level and I put Level aside. My organized shows, Level started blowing, man. The two Indies that we won on Telemundo NBC was the filming that Casasado, Maria De Polo did with Level in my backyard. Level, it's a weight difference. I'm like 280, 290 plus. Level is 165 pounds. That's not true. This story is the truth, and I'll briefly tell you this. There's a gentleman named Tellis that was supposed to be a Billy Badass, a tough guy, inside the neighborhood. So I had a dude named Felix, and Michael Lambert and they had this dude named Convo. His name is Ray. Ray fought George Masvidal, who's inside of Strike Force now, the UFC. Right? He fought George twice. So Felix was supposed to fight Convo. I'm supposed to be, Timbo's dumb boy. They're giving this guy Telly Session 10 grand. 10 grand. So they said, hey, listen, this is how they wanted to play me. They wanted to get me there, and pull the cameras out and have this dude try to punk me. So if I didn't fight, what I'm saying, then they put it out and they try to ruin me. But if I did, then they don't owe me nothing because no agreement was made. I'm fighting off a general principle now. But I struck back and I'm like, whoa, because I'm no dummy. God bless the dead bitch Sean. And I stated this. I said, Sean, dude, be straight with me, man. What's going on? He's like, Dada, you know what I'm saying, man, is you going or not? I said, nah, man, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? You could take Felix, you know what I'm saying, but dog, this shit ain't adding up to me. What's going on? Give or take, about 30 minutes later, I told him, I said, bro, if you take me somewhere, and this shit is a setup, you gonna get it too. I'm gonna do the unexpected. Everybody gonna fucking lay down. Nobody ain't going back home. And you can take that how you want it, Sean. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna ask you again, what's going on? He said, well, you ain't gonna go? I said, nah. He said, well, you're not going because I said, anything, right? And I said, no, dude, it's not making no sense to me. He said, Dada, it was a setup. They was gonna get you there, and when they got you there, they was gonna have to do Telly Session there. And Telly was going to try to punk you, and they was going to get you, to fight. I said, Sean, you just saved your life. And I called Mike right then and there. I said, Mike, what's good? He said, what's up, buddy? I said, listen, with this shit going on tomorrow, y'all give me 2 grand to fight him, right? If I win by knockout, y'all give me another 500. I ain't worried about the 10 grand that y'all going to give him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm your boy, but this is how little y'all think of me. He told me, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm not doing that. That's the third. I said, all right. This is what they was trying to do to me. I didn't show up because I wasn't a dummy. So number one, you just excluded all forms of payment right then and there. So what am I going there for? To fight for free? No, and I'm your boy, and this is how you do me. So they ended up getting Level. You know what I'm saying? And Level win, and I don't know what they gave Level. $800 or this, that, or the third. This is what these guys do. Users, and even Level will tell you, Dada, I fought the best fight of my life against that guy. Level weighed 168 pounds. This guy wore 270. And Level, man, listen, hey, the little homies did. How can I put it? Level in my eyesight and what the people, on the street stated who got a chance to sneak peek at that, You know what I'm saying? It's like for Level to come in there 100 pounds lighter than this dude, Level won that fight. Level hit that dude with like 3 left hands back to back, broke the dude's jaw. But the dude was a tough dude. But when you got a guy, 160 pounds that's standing toe to fucking toe with you, you didn't win that fight. I'm sorry. But they told Level, we're going to give you a copy of the footage. That fight was years ago. Level didn't Level get that footage yet. He still ain't get it. If it was up to Kimbo Slice them, Level wouldn't have made it. I kept the backyard going for all of those guys. They'll tell you that. All of them. It wouldn't be no Level if it wasn't for me bringing out the national, attention for these guys. There wouldn't be no Chocolate, who's on the front cover hitting the guy, KO Mike. But none of these guys. They will all be forgotten. I've never been selfish. Not once, because I never made a dime off of none of this stuff. I did it because I understood. The people inside my community, these guys, I can tell you what they got and I can tell you what they don't got. They got a criminal record. They got 2 stripes, working on the 3rd. They don't got a high school diploma. They don't got a skill. They don't got a trade, but they got their 2 hands and they got their heart and they're willing to learn. And I get these corporate guys to come down and see these diamonds in the rough. And hopefully, just maybe, somebody will say, you got what it takes, and I'm willing to give you a chance. And that's what I do. That's payment enough, man, to see somebody take that game to the next level, opposed to take that game back to the penitentiary.